Here's the second half of our solving equations video with more practice. So notice the common denominator for all of these is going to be 12. So I'm going to multiply everything by 12. On the first fraction, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I'm going to multiply 4 times x minus 5. On my second fraction, 12 divided by 12 is 1. So I don't have to multiply by anything. And my third fraction, 12 divided by 4, is 3. So I end up with 4x minus 20 equals negative 2x minus 38. Add 2 to both sides. Add 20 to both sides. And I think we get x equals negative 3. Now there are no restrictions on this one because none of my denominators had a variable. So x equals negative 3 is my answer. Next step, I'm going to factor my denominator and get x plus 7, x minus 5. And that's what I'm going to multiply, both sides, times x plus 7, x minus 5. So in my first fraction, x minus 5 cancels the other x minus 5 and leaves me with 1 times x plus 7. My second fraction, x plus 7, x minus 5 cancel completely, and I'm just left with 5. Subtract 7 from both sides, and x is negative 2. Now my restricted values, whatever makes this denominator equal 0, are negative 7 and positive 5, which did not interfere with my solution. Right. Next one. I have x minus 1. Now this is 5x plus 5. I think I can factor a GCF out of this one. 5x plus 1. And x squared minus 1 is a difference of squares, so it's x plus 1, x minus 1. So let's find a common denominator for all of these. Well, my denominator must have a 5 and an x plus 1, but it also needs an x minus 1. And then I think we have everybody covered. X minus 1 is there. 5x plus 1 is there. And then x plus 1, x minus 1, it's all there. So for my first fraction, this x minus 1 cancels this x minus 1. And now I'm distribute my 3. 3 times 5 times x plus 1. 3 times 5 times x plus 1. My second fraction, the 5 and the x plus 1 leave me 2 times x minus 1. And my last fraction, the x plus 1 and the x minus 1 divide out, and I'm just left with negative 3 times 5. And now we just solve. This is 15 that I'm going to distribute. 15x plus 15. That's a positive 2 I'm going to distribute. And negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. So combine like terms. 15 plus 2 is 17x. 15 minus 2 is 13. And if I subtract 13 from both sides, I get negative 28. Dividing by 17 leaves me negative 28 over 17. That's a really strange answer, but that's what I got. Now my restricted values, whatever makes the denominator 0, so that'd be a positive 1 and a negative 1, which did not interfere with my solution at all. All right, let's keep going. I need to factor x squared plus x minus 6. I'm going to go with x plus 3, x minus 2. And I think that's my common denominator because it encompasses all of those denominators. X plus 3, x minus 2. So the first fraction, this x plus 3 and this x plus 3, leaves me negative 2 times x minus 2. My second fraction, x minus 2 divides x minus 2 and leaves me with 3x plus 3. And my last fraction, all of this divides out all of that and leaves me 5. Once you get rid of the denominators, it's pretty easy to solve. Negative 2x plus 4 plus 3x plus 9 equals 5. So negative 2x plus 3x is just x. 4 plus 9 is 13. So when I subtract 13 from both sides, x is negative 8. My restricted values are negative 3 and positive 2. So my answer is just fine. All right, last one. We've got this. Let's factor so we can find our common denominator. That's what I end up with. So it looks like my denominator needs this x squared, and it needs an x plus 2. So x to the first is included. X plus 2 is right there, and x squared is right there. So when I multiply this times my common denominator, one of the x's cancels, and the x plus 2 divides out. That leaves me 3 times x. Over here, x squared divides out and leaves me with 6x plus 12. So if I subtract 6 from both sides, I'm going to get x equals negative 4. Now let's check our restricted values to make sure we don't have any extraneous solutions. I can't be 0 and I can't be negative 2. So my restricted values do not give me an extraneous solution. And that is it.